Most of the results are in for last year's predictions. Let's see how well I did or didn't do. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 482 for January 4th, 2019. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a Model S, X, or 3, please consider using his referral code. Ask your sales representative to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 for 6 months of free supercharging or 9 months of free supercharging if you have not yet taken a test drive of a Tesla vehicle. My first prediction last year was on Q1 2018 Model 3 deliveries, and then when they would hit the magical 5K per week goal. The first one was an easy one to check up on as they had to report it. And checking back on that, Tesla delivered 9,766 Model 3s in Q1 2018. That's a big fat miss for me there, having predicted 30,000 deliveries for the quarter. And as I recall, I thought that was being conservative. As to the 5K claim, Tesla mentioned in their Q2 2018 delivery announcement that they'd hit 5,031 Model 3s delivered in the final week of June, so that missed by a month since I'd call May as the time frame for that prediction. Next up was my prediction that we'd neither see hide nor hair of Model Y in 2018, and I nailed this one. I predicted correctly that Tesla would still be way too busy handling Model 3 to be introducing a new vehicle, and this did prove to be the case, although Elon has publicly stated that the prototype has already been greenlit for construction. For the bonus round on this particular prediction, I'd said that we'd see the unveil for Model Y this year, 2019, in the same time frame as Model 3, sort of at the end of Q1 and beginning of Q2. And then Elon actually did give at least a placeholder date for March 15th for this year. This jury is still certainly out on that one, as it was originally more of a joke, but then Elon sort of more solidified the idea later. But at least in words, I crushed this one. The last prediction I had here is that we wouldn't see production for Model Y until Q4 2021. This looks to be flat out wrong, as it looks increasingly likely that Model Y will begin life at Gigafactory 1, not necessitating a factory build, which I included in my prediction estimate. But I'll take a mostly nailed it for this prediction. Number 3 for 2018 was related to Tesla's financials, and again, I hammered this one. I predicted that Tesla would show at least 2 profitable quarters, significant profitable quarters, in 2018. While Q1 and Q2 were significantly in the red, Q3 was a record profit for the company. While the numbers are not yet in for Q4, Tesla announced that they delivered 90,700 vehicles in the quarter, which was more than even in Q3, continuing to break delivery records. With this in mind, you'd think that costs would not increase over the previous quarter, or maybe even a modest increase, and that Q4 should also be a massive profit. However, that is no guarantee. But with that in mind, I'm claiming a solid win for this one as well, with the right to be later proven wrong by full financials when they're released. My penultimate prediction was that Model S and Model X would get an interior refresh. Not much to say here, there was a whole lot of nothing on that front. Similarly, my final prediction also was on Model S and X, and that was that the 2170 cells would migrate to the bigger vehicles, enabling some ridiculous range abilities. As with the previous prediction, none of this happened, and it made me sad. Lastly, I made some other delivery predictions at various points on Twitter. Following the Q2 delivery announcement, I'd predicted 65,000 total deliveries for Q3. Survey says Tesla crushed even my optimistically adjusted prediction, delivering 83,500 vehicles in total. In my defense on this one, I even mentioned that they may beat that number handily, which they went ahead and did. The other offhand delivery prediction I made was that Tesla would beat their entire number of 2017 deliveries in Q4 of 2018. While they came close, they didn't quite get it done. Tesla had full-year deliveries of about 102,000 vehicles if you include the tiny number of Model 3s that made it to owners in 2017. Q4 this year saw Tesla deliver a bonkers 90,700 vehicles, but that didn't get it done for my prediction. It would appear the S-curve is beginning to top out for Model 3 production, as this was a modest increase over the previous quarter, and nothing like the leaps we saw between Q1 to Q2 and Q2 to Q3. That'll wrap up all the predictions from last year and this year. Looking forward to seeing what 2019 holds. As I already said last show, it looks like it's shaping up to be rather amazing. Yet again, there are no full links in the show description because this is entirely my content. While you're thinking about me producing content, please consider supporting that content financially through Patreon at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks as always to our super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are John Waltower, Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dory and Steve Guberman, Bruno Kudici, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Adam Raymer Brown, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Robert Healy, Mitch Long, Zortech LED Canada, Morvan Og, Blake Thompson, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Michael Pastroni, Travis and Cheyenne Rush, Cookie UK, Chris Hovis, Craig Murphy, and Vicky Kirk. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you had a great start to the new year, and I will see you back here again to start the normal routine again on Monday. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.